Well, everybody, I figure today's just as good a day to go ahead and see if we can figure out how bad the rust is on this gas tank. So we need to go ahead and get these lines off of here. We'll go ahead and pop that snap ring open, and then we'll see how much gas drains out of it. It feels like there's still some in there. Actually, it might all be empty now. Nope. We still have a little bit in there trickling. But I'll go ahead and get this thing broke open, and we'll definitely get a look taken at it. Let me go get some tools. Let's see here. We're gonna need pliers, screwdriver, and a hammer. Where do I have a hammer laying in here? Let's see. Yeah, this one will work. Doesn't have to be a special hammer. All right. Ah! Damn it! All right. Well, first things first. We'll go ahead and get these out of the way. I'll go ahead and save these. I don't break them, because I'm pretty sure they're still good. I think the only thing I'm really going to have to replace is probably the line, which pretty beat. Cut off of there. Ugh. One. And two. Oh yeah. That looks fantastic. Put this with the other one. Keep track of it. Alright. I'm sure most of you probably know how to get these off of here. There's 3 little tabs. You just gotta bump them off a little at a time. And then I think there's a tool that actually does it really easy. But I don't know that because I've never seen one. Always just kind of twisted them off like this. But I think, oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Closer. Let's see here. There it goes. See that ring? Got 3 cutouts in it, 3 little bent up tabs. And you just got to line them up with these 3 sections that are all, it'll make sense when you're looking at it. And then, let me see. There's an O-ring or something in here, I think. But it might not be left. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's a smell right there. Let's see what we got going on. Holy smokes. The float's seized up. That might be why the gas tank or gas gauge wasn't working. That sock looks pretty rough. I'd say that it's no good. The pickup tube's got holes everywhere. Never even seen white like that in a tank before. That is insane. I think it's safe to assume none of this is salvageable. Oh, well, it doesn't even move. That's crazy. The box is eaten up. There's holes rusted through all of this. Caramel. Crunchy. Holy cow. Literally looks like a cow. That is insane. I've never seen that before. I've seen some pretty bad looking sending units come out of these old tanks, but nothing ever like that. This is wild. I'm gonna have to get a flashlight to look down in here. I didn't grab that. It is empty though. The inside of the tank looks, from what I can tell, just about as bad as that sending unit. Oh man, we may be getting a new tank along with the new sending unit. I'm not sure for certain. I might have to replace or rinse it out real good to see. There's a chunk in here. Hold on. What is that? Is that the bottom? It looks like a piece of sandstone. Oh man. Hold on. Let's see if I can... Look at that. That was laying in the bottom. Just one solid. I'm not even sure that's metal. It might have been at one time. It's not now. It's just rust buildup. That's crazy. Oh, it smells terrible. Okay, well, I guess the next step's going to be rinsing this thing out. Get the pressure washer fired up, maybe. I don't know. Might just spray it and see. Golly, that black caramel crunchy stuff is literally built up on the sides. I might have to just get a camera in there for you guys to take a look. I don't think it's going to rinse out. Maybe with some solvent. If I put like a bunch of, I don't even know. I don't know what to put in there. I bet I could sandblast it. I'd probably get it all out. I don't know. I have to think about this one. But I did find out that this is no good. So that's one thing down and out of the way. And this, it's definitely fixable. I can salvage this tank. I just don't know if it's going to be worth it to salvage this tank. That's where I'm kind of sitting on it now. I guess I should just rinse it out and see. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe start getting this dumped out, and then I'll bring you guys back to take a look at it. I'll get a light so you can look in here first, and then I'll show you after. So you can see the before and after. This is insane. Hold on, guys. I figured out that my light's not going to work too good. But if I get the camera in here, the whole sides of the tank have all that kind of slushiness built up around the edge of it. It's down both sides. If I tilt this just right, maybe I can. The bottom of it is quite rusted and kind of full of dangerous debris. And then you can kind of see the pinholes in the bottom too. One of them at least. So, the inside of this thing's not looking that great, but maybe with a little bit of rinsing we can figure out, you know, how bad exactly it is. Once I get all those bigger chunks, there's a bunch more of the big plates of rust at either end. I am starting to think that I might not be able to, I don't know, I could probably do it, but it's going to take a while. I guess we'll just have to see which one comes faster, a new tank or fixing one. All right, well, I got it sprayed out pretty good. Got a lot of it cleaner anyway, clean enough to see the inside. It looks like a lot of that stuff that's kind of caked up on the sides probably would come off with a fair amount of like scrubbing. If I got in there and scraped it off, cleaned it off, I think it'll come off. The inside, all that white business that's on the sides. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but it also kind of looks like some kind of coating because it seems like it's all over the inside of the tank. The hole itself here. Oh man, where did it go? Here it is. The biggest hole actually looks pretty clean. It almost looks like something hit it and broke through because it's pretty thick. It's not even, it's not like gradually worn through all the way around. Some of these little smaller spots are the same way. I'm very sure I could easily patch those holes where they wouldn't leak. My concern is there are some pretty heavy rusted spots on the outside of the tank. And for the cost of a new tank, the peace of mind might be nicer to go ahead and just replace the tank. Because I don't know that I can get all this out. I mean, I maybe could. But at the same time, I don't want to be fighting that out of filters for the next indefinite period. So, I might just opt to do a new tank and sending unit. And then just put all the hoses, the neck that I have, the brackets I have, all the rest of the stuff on just the tank and the sending unit. And I feel like that might actually be the safest course of action going forward. Or at least the one with the least amount of headache. Because I know if I get this cleaned out and put back on, I do stand a pretty good chance, probably higher than new, of dealing with more problems that I don't want to have to deal with. Once I get it put back in there, I'd like to not have to take it back off until, you know, hopefully ever. So I might end up doing that. And then I could just keep this one as a backup. If I do get it fixed and cleaned out, I might be able to just keep it as a backup. Or I might consider doing something where I mount this to the opposite side and just use it as a reserve tank of sorts. If I can find a reserve or a secondary switch in the pump system, just do a dual tank setup. Because that would be pretty legit, having two tanks on the old truck. I sound like that'd be quite nice, especially if the fuel mileage doesn't end up being higher than like 10 or 12. So we might just save the tank, see if we can fix it, get another one to put in, and then have this one. So I definitely don't want to get rid of it for nothing. But that's the tank so far. So I guess I have some planning to do. I appreciate you guys coming here to see this whole mess with me. It's not great. It's disgusting. And it smells terrible. I've smelled some old varnished gas before. I've even smelled some thick syrupy gas that was in an old Honda I fixed up once. And this is leagues worse than both of those, so I now need to go take another shower and probably soak my hands in some carb cleaner for a few minutes to get the gas stink out of them. But I'm going to call that one good for right now, and I'll be back next time I find something else that's wrong with the truck. Golly, I was not expecting that. I do want to go ahead and fill you guys in on a positive. I have been slowly coming out here in the evenings and getting some of the old body rubbed down little bit by little bit. I think the last you guys seen of it, I had this door done and some spots on the fender and the hood, but if you can tell, a little bit of the cab definitely has the shine coming back to it. And then I did get a big portion of the hood done. I still got to do this whole section here, but I got the vent up there done. I got this fender done, except for the white. The white needs sanded out. Got the door, and then going down the bed, you could see the line actually from where it's oxidized and then where it's been compounded. I've only done, let's see, that looks real good right Wrap it around the back. I wet sanded it at like 2,000 or 2,500. And then I've just done rubbing compound. And I haven't done anything to any of the white yet. It's house paint, I think. Something's on there that's not, it's really powdery when you rub it. And the way the overspray was in some spots, it just doesn't seem, I don't know, it's almost like spackle, the way it comes off when you rub on it. So I think if I just soak it and rub on it, maybe hit it with a medium grit, like plastic brush, I think I could brush a lot of it off. But I'm definitely leaving the paint like it is. I want to get whatever is on the white off and see the white that was under there before this got put on there. But yeah, I'm leaving the natural finish on it. If it's holding up, it's holding up, and it looks good enough. Definitely looks good enough. I like it. I like it a lot. Shiny's fantastic, but shiny and old is just a whole nother thing, you know? Makes it look like it's been lived in a little bit. Also, another thing I figured out how to do, I got the door open. I know that was something that wasn't working, and now it is. I am so stoked about that. It turns out that the lock was stuck. So you could push the lock down and you could pull it up. And then you could try the door and nothing would happen, but you actually had to like reach down with a pair of pliers hard and a pry bar almost and pop up on it. And then it unlocked. So that's what the problem with the door was. It was just locked, really locked. And then while I had the door apart, I went ahead and re-greased the window. And my boy has had a heck of a time rolling the window up and down. It just glides. So once I get the door panel cleaned up a little better and get this door cleaned up a little better, I'll be putting that back on. I want to get some window trim, but I don't know when I'm going to be able to get the trim kit for the window. So I'll probably put that back together and then redo that later. But that's some positive news that's come about, just so you guys know. On a little bit. I really just wanted to end on a little bit of a positive note because the gas tank's a little sad. We still have our little tiny gallon tank to move it around under the hood, so that's not too bad. But looks like it's going to be a little bit longer before we can get that big tank popped back up under there. At least there's plenty of stuff to keep doing. I still got to find a tire for it. And I put the battery in it the other day and was checking the lights. The dashboard needs a little bit of work. There's a couple of lights on the dash that come on. The speedometer works. And for the automatic version of the truck, where the little shift window is, lights up pretty good. And the heater controls. Everything else is dark. There's no lights on the rest of it. So I'll be pulling the dash off, getting it cleaned out, double checking all the wiring, and then hopefully getting the lights replaced and all that popped back in. And that's going to be its own whole little thing. So I'll be bringing you guys along for that when I get ready to tackle that problem. Because having the dash working, especially at night, is going to be something that I want to have happen. So, and then also it's just going to make the inside of the truck look a lot better. I think having the inside of the truck looking fresh is going to be really nice, especially if you got to sit in it all the time. So, with that being a little bit of an update and a nice little bit of good news, I'm going to go ahead and say, I'll see you guys later, and you guys take care.